engines pump and pulse. The crowds are shout, engines roar, hot sore, FFTV on the pole, let it roll, let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. Burning rubber, burning hot, lose control, from the pits to checkered flags. Dodging wrecks and cautions, keep those eyes open wide, no time to lag. Yeah, we own that soul, start your heart, start the show, FFTV on the pole. Neon lights and roaring crowds, fire in our veins. Speed addiction, racing passion, breaking every chain. Hold tight, the finish line is burning right ahead. When the flag waves, victory lane, all fears we shed. Engines roar, hot sore, FFTV on the pole, let it roll, let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. Burning rubber, burning hot, lose control, from the pits to checkered flags. Dodging wrecks and cautions, keep those eyes open wide, no time to lag. FFTV on the pole, on the pole. Cross that line, the crowd goes wild, the checkered flags unfurl. FFTV on the pole, start the show. We're ready to roll. FFTV on the pole. Yeah! We're ready to roll. Start the show! It's the truth that in love and war, worlds collide and hearts get broken. I wanna live like I know I'm dying. Take up my cross, not be afraid. Is it true what they say? The words are weapons, and if it is, then everybody best stop stepping. 'Cause I got 10 in my pocket that'll bend. You're locking, I'm tired of all of these. Why can't say come with me? Wait, it's just about to break. It's more than I can take. Everything's about to change. I feel it in my veins. It's not going away. Everything's about to change. Creeps in like a thief in the night, without a sign, without a warning. We are ready and prepared to fight. Raise up your swords, don't be afraid. Is it true what they say? The words are weapons, and if it is, then everybody best stop stepping. 'Cause I got 10 in my pocket that'll bend. You're locking, I'm tired of all of these. Why can't say come with me? Wait, it's just about to break. It's more than I can take. Everything's about to change. I feel it in my veins. It's not going away. Everything's about to change. There's a war going on inside of me. So not be afraid. There's a war going on inside of me.
Quarter here. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Tim Buckman.
Beating down the outside, give the win to Patrick Spangler. He
Four, not enough. Jack Hit gets the win here in Eldora tonight.
Mackey trying to counter, won't get there. Dino wins in the 358s.
flag waves, give it to the Samaconda, Sam Buckman.
Trevor Garou got the flag in sight, and he will get the victory here.
Door shut, final time off of 4. Christensen takes the checkered flag.
And it's a close race. It's going to be Shreves getting the win with Grammy.
Final time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves, give it to Gavin Chatham. Light some fireworks for the 007. Brockman brings home the win. The Iceman brings home the win. Give it to Chad Griggs.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome here to the USA Lakeland, Florida Speedway. Get the Dirt Track Racing. These drivers are all getting set to get ready for qualifying. USA is one of my favorite tracks here on the iRacing Sim. Of course, it is now a defunct racetrack, if I remember correctly, which is a shame. I mean, there's a lot of great racing that goes on here at USA. It's honestly where I got my first dirt track win here as well. Whenever I started my iRacing career back in, I want to say 2018, 2017, something like that. No, 2020. I'm sorry, 2020. So, Randy Shreves out here on the top side of the speedway, driving that 56. I'm here off turn number 2, heading onto the back straightaway. Scott Thomason out there in the number 6 machine, trying to find that groove as well. And we might see some of them try that top side here tonight. But I won't be surprised if we see a few catfish out there going for that bottom side, down there along that bottom edge, down there along that wall. If you can get it tucked in tight to that inside wall, there can sometimes be momentum down there. If you can catch it correctly. Okay, Thomason coming here through turns 1 and 2. Heading out there onto the back straightaway. And here we go. Top of the hour. We're getting ready for qualifying. Thomason comes out at corner number 4. Who's ready for some great racing action tonight?
Okay, Adam. Qualifying time. Okay. Going
Sorry
silent.
about that. I didn't realize that that was live. We'll get him to be quiet. Here we go. Thomason coming out there on track right now for his qualifying time. Working down through the back straightaway right now. Here in the corner 3 and 4. Getting a good jump there through the corner up there on that high side. In the bluff, trying to build that momentum here as they come down the front straightaway. In the corner number 1 and 2 he goes. Wait for the times to come in here. Trevor Frank laying down a really good time there in the 121 with an 18.162. Granny not too bad in the 518 with an 18.253. We'll see how that stacks up. There you see Thomason there. Here comes Spangler coming into the mix there with the number 39. Lays down an 18.231. We'll have to see how he does coming through the corner. Off the corner here. Across the line. Spangler will not improve his time. The Patrick Spangler qualifying with an 18.231. Cookson out there with an 18.881. Randy Shreves down in there with an 18.707. One heat here tonight for your 360 wing sprints. I don't think they'll split them into 2. 10 drivers coming out to make the show. So let's cheer them on here. You're watching here at the Coast to Coast Racing Network and possibly over at Flicker Farm TV. As we got here, everybody set to rock and roll. So just bear with us here as we get them rolling. All right, there we go. Starting grid here for your heat number 1. I see it here. We got all 10 drivers lined up, ready to go. Here's starting grid. Starting out there on the pole, lad. Getting that invert. It's going to be Scott Thomason in the 6. Joseph Grandy in the 518 will be starting in 2nd here tonight for Raise the Bar. Starting there in 3rd. Patrick Spangler in the number 39. To the outside. Trevor Frank in the 121 starting 4th here tonight at USA, Lakeland, Florida. Here in row number 3, Dean Reynolds from Super Dirt Car Series, driving at number 79 for Full Throttle Motorsports. Starts 5th here in this heat, number 1. Jeff Barker will start to his outside there, driving a 513 for Can-Am Racing. Row number 4, inside the 56, Hot Wheels Racing Machine, driven by none other than Randy Shreves. Starts there in 7th, Can-Am Racing Team number 7. Mr. Fonzie Good rolls off in 8th. To round out your field tonight, your final row. Row number 5, inside is going to be Joseph Cookson, driving at number 64 to his outside. Brian Moore Sr. in the 55. Starting there in 10th. They're coming there now off turn 3 and 4. One more time around here as Fred will take that pace car back around. Barney's got the flag there in the stand. Roll there through 1 and 2 here for the final section of the pace lap. Down the back straight away, gonna come back around here onto the front. Pace car pulls down, pulls off. Here we go. And the driver hit the loud pedal. The dust flies here at Lakeland, Florida, USA International Speedway. In the corner number 1. And look at that shot there through corner number 1. On the bottom side, that Scott Thomason really got ahead there. Coming there out of the corner, Trevor Frank there to third. Spangler, he started third, is falling back there on it inside. I mean, through the grass on the front straightaway. Now I have to try to collect it back there on the front. Going to end up bringing it down there onto the bottom. Not sure exactly what happened there to Spangler, but he brought it to a stop there on the front straightaway. Here coming now off the back. Now we watch here for the hometown heroes. 360 wing sprints. And 3 laps go here in heat number 1. Joseph Grandy there in front. Scott Thomason there third. Jeff Barker there fourth. There fifth is Randy Shreves. Dean Reynolds back here in 6th. Now you watch him roll there off the corner. Randy out there in front. Frank second. Thomason falls back in the third. Frank out there doing a great job in the 121, trying to chase down the leader. Final lap. White flags unfurled. Here we go at the ending of heat number 1 here as the race clicks away. Grandy down that back straightaway here in the 3 and 4. That 5:18 coming around for the final time here in heat number 1. Slides it up there into the block. Down the straightaway, Joseph Grandy getting that victory here at Lakeland, Florida for heat number 1 of the racing night. And for your 360 wing sprint, that is your, like we said, your winner here for your 360 wing sprint heat. Now we're going to go ahead and get the results. Joseph Grandy taking that win. Trevor Frank there second. Scott Thomason there third. Jeff Barker fourth. Randy Shreves there fifth. Dean Reynolds sixth. Bob the Good there in seventh. Joseph Cookson there in eighth. Brian Moore in ninth. Patrick Spangler in 10th. We'll be back after this short word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. More racing action coming right up.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
right, back here from the speedway. Get ready for the main event. You see there, Trevor Frank, Patrick Spangler, fastest out there right now in the warm-up. Now we get ready for the grid. Your starting grid here for the evening. Joseph Brandy for Ray Glar in the 518. Starts out there on the pole. We got there in second, Trevor Frank driving a 121. Row number 2 inside. Starting in third tonight. That's going to be the 6 from Scott Thomason Racing. That is Scott Thomason himself. To the outside there in a fourth, the 513 from K&M Racing. Starting fourth is Jeff Barker. Row number 3 inside the Hot Wheels Racing Machine, the number 56. Randy Shreves will be starting there in a fifth. Goes outside to 79 from Super Dirt Car Series, driving for Full Throttle Motorsports, Mr. Dean Reynolds. And for the fourth row inside, K&M Racing Team number 7. Mr. Bob the Good will start here in 7th for your main event tonight. The 64 of Joseph Cookson will start there in 8th, outside row number 4. Row number 5, the inside, the 55, Brian Moore will roll off in 9th to get this thing underway for that machine, with Patrick Spangler start in 10th with a disappointing problem there in the heat race. Unsure exactly what happened there to Spangler. Ended up pulling off as he ended up down there in the bottom grass. And it's set here to roll, like we said. Drivers side by side right now. Down here in the corner, number 1. Lots of great looking race drivers out there. Lot of great looking race cars. They come there out of turn number 2. If I ever get facts wrong, don't be afraid to let me know in the chat there at Coast to Coast Race Network. I do have that up here and live so I can watch those incoming comments. If we need to adjust audio in any way or anything of that nature, just let us know and we'll adjust it on the fly here tonight. As they come out of turn number 4 here, Lakeland Forest. The dirt is just about to fly for the main event of the 360 wing sprints here tonight. For your hometown heroes, Wednesday night racing. Down there through on turn number 2. Look to run there. Trevor Frank getting a great run there off the top side. Gonna look to the bottom. Can't quite get there. Almost going 3 wide there. We've got Scott Thomason down there on the inside. There in third, Randy Shreves. He's sitting here in 4th right now. As Thomason and Frank battle it out there for 2nd and 3rd. Down there through turn 3 and 4. Randy up there to the top side, but Frank gonna slide it through the corner. Here comes Randy now once again. Down the front straightaway, real close there. Onto that front straight in the corner and on it 1 and 2. Trevor Frank falls back there in the 2nd. Randy there out front. Driving there, short slider through the corner. And they try to keep that momentum built up. And look who's coming up through the pack. Patrick Spangler already up here in the 6th as this race progresses. 22 laps to go here at Lakeland for your 360 wing sprint division. And as it says up there, we got sponsorships available here for the hometown heroes Wednesday night. Get a hold of Coast to Coast at C2CRL.com. Again, that is C2CRL.com. It is also in the description over at Wigger Farm TV. There on YouTube as they try to slide through. Thomason putting a block on Spangler. Spangler now jumps to the outside. As Thomason falls back there in the 5th. Dean Reynolds up there in the 4th now, chasing down Shreve. Right there in 2nd. Grandy out there in front. And let's take a quick look here at our standings if we can. Your hometown heroes, Trevor Frank leads the points with 540. Randy Shreves here went in second with 522. Bob DeGood with 494. Patrick Spangler with 489. So it's going to be interesting there as we see something happen there with Randy and Trevor Frank battling for that first and second position. Take a look at it here on the replay. They come down here through turn 1 and 2. And it looks like they just end up meeting in the middle of the racetrack. And, oh man, Greaves got into it. Thomason got a little piece of it. So did Moore. I don't know if Barker did or not. Barker might have got through. Thomason, Shreves, and Moore all involved there. Hey, come back around here under caution here for your first caution. .513 and Jeff Barker down 5 laps at the moment for what it's reading. Brian Moore down 2, maybe 3. We'll see how that plays out once they get gridded up. Dean Reynolds now has the lead here. Well, look who's up there in second, up 8 spots from where he started. And Patrick Spangler started the night in 10th. Now he's sitting here in second. Here we go, off the corner, Dean Reynolds up there at the front. Bob DeGood back here in third. Now we said Bob DeGood is third in points. And we have yet to figure out the drop week, so that's going to be interesting to see how these points play out when these drivers get those drop weeks accounted for. All right, come there now, off corner number 2, down the back straightaway, doubled up. Lights are off. Fred will pull it in the pit lane. Now you see Reynolds and Spangler on that front row, coming there out of corner number 4. Pace car not off the track yet, and Dean hits the gas. Down there now in the 1 and 2. Spangler there on the outside. Got to run down to the inside. Medino into the outside wall. Caution back out. I don't know where that's going to be. That's going to be back here with Jeff Barker and Brian Moore. See what happened here. Randy Shreves gotten a piece of something. Here they come off the corner. Shreves down there on the bottom. Here you see Brian Moore and Jeff Barker. Oh man, that was the ride there. Randy Shreves taking a ride up and over through corner 1. Take a look at it here. Once again, Randy Shreves going up and over into corner number 1. Here off this restart. Everybody's pretty clean here. Shreves goes to the top side and just bounces it off the back of Thomason. Did he just not see Thomason, or I don't know. It just all of a sudden he closed up so quickly. I think that top side, yeah, it just bottled up there, and just before Shreves could react, he's into the back of the 6, going up over top of the tail tank and into that outside barrier, up into the catch fence. So second caution of the 26-lap feature, or 25-lap feature, sorry. Dean Reynolds, Patrick Spangler still on that front row. They come back down here across the line, possibly get doubled up. Yep, they do. They're going to get doubled up once again. Spangler pulling a wheelie here for the crowd. They're down in the corner number 1 and 2. That's the one thing with these sprints is that front end can sometimes get a little light, depending on how quick you are on that throttle. Down there through in the corner 3 and 4, side by side. Pace car is going to pull off. Dean Reynolds going to bring him back to the green flag. Spangler there to his outside, going to try to stay with him this time. Has the pace car off. Now they're down and away. Much cleaner start there as they come down the front straightaway. Spangler there in second, gets in line there. He's got three wide behind him as Bob the Good almost got stuck in the middle there. Scott Thomason underneath them, coming here in the corner 3 and 4, making a great run down there. Gonna slide it up in that outside lane, proven tough out there as they get that momentum off corner number 4. Working there through 1 and 2. Dean Reynolds, Patrick Spangler, Trevor Frank. Your top 3 with 16 laps to go. Down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Jeff Parker, Cookson back here at the back. 3 on pit lane. Now we're tight there. Moore's way up there against that wall. Grandy also way up against the wall through turn 1 and 2. Saw some sparks fly here as they get to the run there underneath the 7 of Mr. Bob the Good. Bob the Good's going to try and cut it back under him, but not enough momentum to get up there to battle Grandy. Here comes Spangler now, going underneath of Dino. Dino up there on the high side. Hanging top. Here comes Trevor Frank now. Underneath. He's going to slide it up. Spangler's going to check up and go underneath him. Up in there out of turn 3 and 4. They're all battling tight up here at the front. Down there now off turn number 1 and 2. Frank has to back out of it just a shade. He now goes to the inside of Spangler. Spangler stays up there against the top line. Going to cut it back underneath here on the turn 4. And what a drag race there for second and third as the two of them try to get up there to Dino. That was close. Spangler almost got the right rear of Dino as he comes there out of turn number 2. Frank now getting there up in the second. But Spangler now back to the inside, coming down that front straightaway, trying to get that run here in the corner number 1 and 2. Great job there for Spangler as he works there off 1 and 2. Going to stay low here. And Frank had a great run there off turn 3 and 4. Short slider there for Frank as he comes there through the corner. Spangler going to fall in line for now. 10 laps to go. There for your top 3. Grandy, they're now in 4th. Moore here in a bit. Bobby Good, they're in 6th. With Dino still leading the way out there in front. Frank and Spangler, 2nd and 3rd. Spangler now going back to the inside of Frank. Here in the corner number 1. Going to try to get it to stick. He does. Sliding it up there. Gets the spot away from Frank for the time being. Frank now getting the run off a 2. Going to slide it in here through turn 3 and 4. Spangler's going to try to cut it down. Will do so. Has the momentum there to stay with them to the line. Here in the corner number 1 and 2. Going to get a little bit of shimmy out of that one. They're off the corner. Frank now there on the bottom side as well, trying to make it happen as he now works up there against the top. Short slide there for Patrick. He gets back up there behind Reynolds. Frank not giving up though. 7 laps to go here at Lakeland, Florida for your 360 wing sprint division. And they're now out of corner number 2. Grandy there in 4th. Brian Moore pits. To Good there. 6th. Thomason back here in 7th right now. Struggling here a little bit as he's down 4 spots from where he started tonight's feature. Reynolds up 5. Patrick up 8 from where they started. 2 drivers hungry for a win. Spangler sitting there in 4th right now in the point. It could give him a little bit of a nudge here forward to try to get a little bit farther into the point. Possibly. I know he's missed about 3 races, but, you know, with them drop weeks, it's hard to say exactly where a driver may finish, especially if he's finishing as well as what Spangler has been doing. These nights that we've been watching them here at Speakerform TV, Coast to Coast Racing Network. Off corner number 2 down that back straightaway. I go here through 3 and 4. Frank sitting here in 4th or 3rd. Grandy in 4th. Grandy closing in on Frank little by little. Spangler making a run for the lead there to the bottom side of Reynolds. Gets it. Dino now, he's going to try to fight that. They're down here through turn 3 and 4. Going to slide up. Spangler's going to check underneath him here to the line. Spangler's got him coming to the line here. 2 laps to go at Lakeland, Florida, here at USA International Speedway. Real tight racing up there to the top side of the racetrack. No touch there, though, as they raced so hard here. Coming back to the line. Reynolds there now in 2nd. Frank there in 3rd. Randy in 4th. What a night this was for Spangler. Struggled in the heat race, had to pull it off, work on some adjustments in the car. And then we got him coming back from the back of the pack. Here through turns 3 and 4. Patrick Spangler in that number 39 machine. Coming off the corner, quick and flat, unfurled. Here he goes. He's got the victory at Lakeland, Florida here tonight. Congratulations goes to Patrick Spangler. Starting 10th, finishing 1st. Unofficial results, we got Randy Moore, Bob the Good, Thomas and Cookson all back here. Jeff Barker lap down, finishing here tonight in that 5:13. We're going to get your official results right here. Patrick Spangler getting that win here tonight in Lakeland, Florida at USA International Speedway. Dean Reynolds there in 2nd. Trevor Frank getting 3rd. Joseph Grady finishes here in 4th tonight. Brian Moore 5th. Bob the Good in 6th for Can-Am Racing. Scott Thomason there in 7th. Cookson gets 8th. Jeff Barker 9th. Randy Shreve after going heels through turn 1 and 2 up there into the catch fence. Hopefully he's all right and can continue racing here tonight with his other cars. He did not get the finish he was hoping for here in the 360 sprint. Now let's go ahead and get with your winners here. Starting with Trevor Frank here in 3rd. Good evening there, Trevor. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Oh, it's going really well. How's things with you?
Oh, just hanging out, just getting crashed every week, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, you gave it a tough run there tonight. The 3 of you up front really had it battling out. Are you upset with the 3rd place behind these 2 others?
No, to be honest with you, I wasn't really planning on running the Hometown Hero stuff for points, but I find myself leading points in all 3 of the Wednesday night series at the moment, so to finish it was good. Unfortunately, Shreves got caught up in the mess that Grandy started on the start, and then he got caught up in another one, so it sucks for him because I was hoping to have a good points battle with him, but gained some points tonight. So I'm not super disappointed with 3rd at all. To finish that race is good, especially not having to go to the pits after the contact when I got chopped.
Now, that driver that finished in front of you, that Patrick Spangler, are you worried about him at all?
Probably, yeah. I probably should be. He's fast. But I'm just kind of trying to log off wins and, runs, good runs at least, and podiums and such. So I honestly didn't even really look at the points. I just knew I was leading this, so I figured I just had to drive the hell out of it. And 3rd is all I have on a track like that. I'm really, really bad at half miles, so to just finish the race is fine. I'm good with that.
Well, I'll tell you this much. He's only 50 points behind you, and the drop weeks aren't figured in yet.
Yeah, that's good because my drop week's going to be the week that I missed, I think. So I might end up losing this one just because I overslept one of these Hometown Heroes 360 races. But we're giving her all she's got. Just got to keep clicking off good finishes here, and hopefully next week we can finish it with a bang, maybe get a win and put ourselves in a position to win the championship in the 360s.
Well, next week is championship week, so it's going to be interesting to see how these points do play out going into next week.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying not to be conscious of it. I'm trying to kind of just take it as it comes and kind of exist on it a little bit. But yeah, we're doing okay. We're okay for the shape we're in at the moment, and I think even with the drop week, with it being 0 points for me, hopefully it still works out in my favor. I don't really know how the point stuff works, but yeah, we're praying. We're just trying to go as fast as we can.
Yeah, I won't know until next week when they tally it up and let us know here on the broadcast, hey, this is who your championship winner is.
Yeah, well, hopefully we're talking at that point. Hopefully we're talking 3 different times that night about championships. But yeah, like I said, all you can really do is just drive the living hell out of it and try to do as good as you can, and whatever happens, happens.
You're doing a great job here this season with the Hometown Heroes, and with you doing so well, you think you're going to come back to them next season?
We'll have to see how life looks. I only really joined this because I had gotten the membership through the dirt car series, and it's a super fun league. I'm having a ton of fun. I'm winning races. I'm feeling good. I'm running up front and all that. So there's a chance that I pop my head in a few times and say hi. But with the craziness of life, I'm not quite sure. I've made quite the commitment to run all of these, so not quite sure if I'm going to have the time to do that with what's going on in life. But I'm going to try, and if I'll get a membership and I'll race when I can, and hopefully click off some wins and get to talk to you guys again.
Alrighty, well, great job there, Trevor. Before you go, you got any sponsors, shout-outs, people you want to thank for third place here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Shoot Racing Incorporated, Box 3 Media, AmRamp, and Kirsch Bridge Builders. As always, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and thanks to everybody that puts Coast to Coast together and gives us a place to race a couple times a week and have a little fun.
Well, great run there for you. And we'll see you next week as you take on a championship night.
Appreciate it, man. Hopefully we're talking to you after limiteds and midgets tonight, too.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
That's Trevor Frank. You're a third place finisher. Now we'll get with Dean Reynolds. We'll have to see what Dean has to say here.
Thanks.
Good evening there, Dean. How's it going?
Mr. Flieger, long time no talk. How the hell have you been, sir?
I've been well. I don't think you've been racing as much these Wednesday nights.
No, it's summertime. I got the real job in the way, and yeah, this is I think, God, I haven't run Wednesday night. I think I've run one of them in the last 6 weeks. So it's good to be back. I like USA. Had fun. I was having fun there for about 20 laps, and then Patrick came and he crashed the party, and he took home the hot girl.
Well, just so my mind's correct, this is now a defunct racetrack, correct?
Yeah, USA's not around. It was never a dirt track. It was always a asphalt track. So, but yeah, it hasn't been around for a long time. So it's one of the original tracks that came into iRacing when iRacing launched, and why they put dirt on it, I don't know. I'm glad they did, because I really like racing it. And actually, it's fun on the asphalt too. You can really run a lot of good races here on the asphalt. But yeah, there's no track in Lakeland, Florida, no more.
That's what I thought, and it's a shame because it is a really nice racetrack here on the sim.
It is. You just got to get a good batch of drivers though that know how to race it with some common sense. I like to say, I guess might be strong words, but when you got the long straightaways, and if you look, you're actually doing 130 to 140 miles an hour going down the straightaways when you look at the speedometer and stuff. But when you get down in the corners, there's going to be guys that are not going to be feel comfortable going in at 120 in the corners and holding it. So they're going to let off, or they're going to trail their brake, and that's why you get a lot of accidents going into turn one, or really on the starts you get accidents going to turn one. But you got to have a lot of respect, and then when you throw the slider here, you got to make sure you're clear. Like I threw a slider on Patrick there with 3 to go on 1 and 2, and I did not see him in the mirror, so I knew it wasn't clear. So I checked up. I said to Patrick, I'm not going to take you out, doing this. And so I rolled up, wait for him to go back around on the outside, and then, try to get him. But then he, I lost a lot of momentum coming off, and, he pulled out. But yeah, if you get the right drivers, USA can be one of the most fun tracks on the sim. It's always got a couple of grooves. especially in the modifieds. When you run a big block or a 358 here, you can run like 3 grooves here, and so it's a lot of fun.
Well, I know whenever I first started the iRacing journey for myself back in 2020, USA is where I gained and got out of my rookie status on the dirt, driving the street stocks.
Yep.
And
It's same here. When I first started iRacing, I had a laptop. I had a 16-inch laptop that wasn't high def, so I started running asphalt first until I got myself set up in the computer and everything, because I couldn't see the dirt. I couldn't see where it was wearing. So I'm like, I'm just going to be in the way running dirt. So I ran asphalt for like 2 months before I finally got I got a PC and I got a screen. So that's how I did it as well.
well, see, I had a screen, but I didn't have a desktop. I only had the laptop, so I had one of those HDMI cables going from my laptop to the TV.
There you go.
So that's how I did mine. Now, your laptop, just curious, what graphics card did you have in that?
I have no idea. I'm not a computer guy. It wasn't
I
very
only
good because
I only
it
had
wasn't
a
very good
960 in mine.
Yeah, like I said, I couldn't run dirt because I couldn't see the difference in the dirt, and then I had to make sure the crowd was turned off and everything else, or else we couldn't. I couldn't race. So
I turned everything else off so that I can turn the track stuff on to be able to read the track.
yep, there you go. So, but no, so it was a fun race, and I got lucky there with the I don't know what happened with Trevor and Joseph there, and next thing you know, I'm coming out leading, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that's good, and then. I had Patrick behind me, and I'm like, well, I don't know how long I'll be able to hold him off. And then, I felt good there for a while, and I was like, well, maybe I can win this. Who knows? And then, he started reading the track a little bit better. It's always an advantage to be in second. And he was telling me the bottom in 3 and 4 was getting better, and he was starting to close in on me. And then, he threw that slider on me, and then I threw a slider back on him. But when I threw the slider back on him, my exit was not good, and he got able to pull away, so I couldn't do any more sliders. And then I just said, you know what? I'm just going to finish second to Patrick, and I'll be okay with this, and we'll bring her home.
Oh, you did a great job, and that's like you were saying here with Lakeland, the bottom and top, depending on how your driving style is. I've seen guys be able to run the bottom the entire race and come out with a win. Meanwhile, other guys have to run the top side to be fast.
Well, the top will get so thin and so far up against that wall. And because the top is usually pretty dominant at the beginning of the race, so the bottom doesn't wear out that fast. And then when the top really wears out, you could start making that bottom work. Now, that's not me. I can't run that bottom. I just spin my tires and lose speed and all that. So I live and die either with a slider line or stay up top, unless I'm in a 358. When I run a 358 modified here, I usually stay on top, but I know eventually the bottom's going to start coming in. And you just got to find out what lap that's going to be and then try to utilize that. Now, I don't even think I've ran a limited late model here ever. So it's going to be interesting to see if the top is even going to be part of it because you're so down on horsepower. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this track develops.
Well, I can give a little bit of insight into that. I ran limited late models in another league here and was able to come out with the win surprisingly because everybody else ran the top. I ran the bottom. Now,
yeah, so that's where I'm thinking that this might be here. So, we'll see.
It's just how that one played out. They couldn't seem to get the car to stick to the bottom. I was fortunate enough to do so. And, yeah, it's an interesting track for sure. So you got sponsors, shout-outs, people you want to thank before you head off and get that limited late fired up?
Oh, yeah, always got to thank the guys from FTM. Great bunch of guys to be part of, great team. Always got to thank those guys. Not a lot of guys like running the sprint cars, but that's okay. I'll be the redheaded stepchild of the team and run the sprint cars. And, so it's always good to be part of that guy. Thank you, Adam, and Regal's Wraps and Design, and, and Flieger Farm TV for doing the broadcast so people can watch at home. And we got to thank Coast to Coast for giving us a place to race. And congratulations to Patrick on the win. And, Trevor Frank has really become a powerhouse here in Coast to Coast. And so when you can finish ahead of him, you had a good race.
Yeah, points are going to be interesting coming down to this final week here, coming into championship week.
Yeah, I really haven't paid attention to the points because, I've been gone for so much. But I'll start looking here the last week because I do the those photos for the video that you play at the beginning. I do those photos, so I gotta get some pictures of some of the guys' cars. So we'll be doing that here pretty soon.
Alrighty, well, congrats again there, Dean, and we'll see how you do in the limited late models coming up.
All right, my friend. Hopefully we get to talk to you again.
We'll see how it goes. Good luck.
Take care.
All right, that was Dean there, your second place finisher. Now we got Patrick Spangler. Good evening, Patrick. How's it going?
Pretty good, and you?
It's going well, man. We saw you struggle there in the heat race. Ended up down there in the grass, and you towed it back to the pits. What exactly happened there in that heat race?
I hit the left front off the wall in turn one. Got into the grass, hit the left wall, and just broke my steering on my front. So my steering wheel was like 45 degrees to the left. So it's pretty loose in the turn. So I don't want to take anybody else out. So I just pulled off in the heat race.
Well, you went back, got it fixed, and then come out here starting 10th in the feature, and worked your way through and got the win. Kind of take it through. How difficult was it to get that car to come through the pack like that?
The first couple, they weren't running the very top, so I could just sail it on the top. That was pretty quick if you could put it right up against the wall and not get into the wall. Once I caught the top 4 or 5, I knew it was gonna be a lot tougher to pass them because most of them were running the top, and then Trevor and Grandy got into it. I don't know what happened, but they were both looking at us, and I was like, oh no, I got to miss him. Randy T-boned him, and then me and Dean barely snuck by, so got lucky there. And then I wanted to pass Dean on the restart. I got him on the 1, but then the caution came out. So then the next one, he was getting the better runs out of the turn, so I couldn't really set for a slider. And then Trevor decided to throw in from behind me. So I got in a little slider battle for a couple of laps with him, but then I don't know if he hit the wall or what. I was able to pull away from him and then just be able to track down Dean. And then that was a fun little race I had with Dean there.
Well, you did a great job there tonight getting that win. And I know you haven't been really paying much attention to the points yourself because you haven't made all the races, but you might have a contention here to be in the top 3.
Yeah, Dean wanted me to put the points with the drops since I've been doing the drops, and I just calculated these ones, and then with the 2 drops, I've only missed 2 races, so both my drops are the misses, but me and Trevor are tied going into the final week, 571 apiece, so it should be a good one next week. I'm not sure where it's at, but it'll be fun.
Alrighty, well, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. It's going to be a tough one for sure, I think, next week.
Yeah, I can't wait. Looking right now, looks like we are at Charlotte, so nice big track. I usually do pretty good, but Charlotte, yeah, that can be a tough one. You want to have good starting spot because it's tough pass there too when it gets up around the wall, so should be a fun one.
All right, well, great job, and can't wait to see how it plays out for you. And I believe you only race these on Wednesday nights, correct?
Yeah, sometimes I race the limited lates, but not tonight. I got some other things I gotta do, so yeah. Hopefully talk to you next Wednesday.
Alrighty, well, good luck. Get that car ready to rock and roll at Charlotte. What better place to have the championship night race?
Yep, should be fun.
All right, have yourself a great night. You got sponsor shout-outs, people you want to thank?
Yeah, just Regal Wraps and Designs for the sponsorship and everything you do for the league, and graphic-wise, announcing-wise, racing-wise. Jeff and Dean for Run the League. Velocity Race Design for a new wrap there, and then just everybody, all 10 guys tonight, just for racing a clean, fun race.
All right, great job there, Patrick, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks. Have a good night.
That's Patrick Spangler, your winner here tonight in the 360 Wing Sprint Division. We're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We got more racing action coming up here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
1, 2, 3. Love it, Molly.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
Our love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home, I'm making my way.
All right, back here at the Speedway. Trying to get something fixed here on my end if I can. Here you see the race in. All right, are we gonna? Why I'm doing that here. Oh, get it fixed though here. Just give me a second. Hey, driver will get ready for the qualifying for the limited late models here tonight. There we go. Here's your race info here for your limited late models. Your coast-to-coast racing league here at Lakeland, Florida. As you're watching here, the 121. Trevor Frank, only 5 drivers. Chad Lackey out here in the 66. Taking a look here at the points for this series. Trevor Frank leads the way. Randy Shreves in second. He's out here trying to put down his time. Now we wait for them times to come in. Trevor Frank here comes across the line. We'll see what he has here for a time. 21.937 for Chad Lackey. Trevor Frank not yet with a time. Dean Reynolds there coming down the back straightaway with 22.112. 21.812 there for Shreves. Dean Reynolds. There we see Trevor Frank, your points leader. I got Trevor Frank down there on the bottom. Dean Reynolds here looking in third. Randy not out there on the track right now. Shreves here coming, bringing it to a stop for his qualifying. Right now starting there on the pole qualifying wise, but because of the invert, they're going to be starting in fourth. So Randy Shreves to start fourth here tonight. Third will be Chad Lackey. Dean Reynolds to start second. And Trevor Frank playing that invert, going to start on pole. If I'm looking at everything correctly. Low car counts this year for the limited late models. Hopefully that picks up next season. There we go. Get started with the grid here. 4 drivers that I see. Trevor Frank out there on the pole with the 121. She was outside Dean Reynolds, the 79 from Super Dirt Car Series, Full Throttle Motorsports. In the second row, Chad Lackey there in the 66, starts third. Randy Shreves there in a fourth. That is your field here tonight for your limited late models. Going down the speedway here, everybody getting ready to roll. On board here with Chad Lackey, out of Stittsville, Ontario. He sits there third. Here's Randy Shreves out of Springfield, Illinois. He's there on the outside. North Syracuse for Dean Reynolds and Trevor Frank are out there on the pole. Out of corner number 4, that pace car drops down. Here we go. Green flag in the air for your limited late models. Stick slapped here for that for your feature. How about we try Heat 1 or your heat race of the limited late models? Since there is only 4 drivers that brought their limited late models out to play here tonight. Down the back straightaway here in the 3 and 4. Dino looking there to the outside. Trevor Frank going to try to cut it down there. Now, the way I look at this track, I don't know if these drivers are going to do it or not. You really want to try to cut that front corner as much as you can. Dean Reynolds there in second. Now, we'll see what that looks like on board. Still needs tighter to that inside wall, if you want my opinion. We got here with Dean Reynolds here in second. I'd be cutting it right there down across that grass, if possible, and get right there on the bottom of the racetrack. Slide it up off the corner, bring it down the back straightaway. Once again, down there against that tight, getting it tight against that bottom there, along that grass as you work off the corner. Dino trying to get that machine hooked up there, and he looks like he's doing fairly well. Hanging in there behind Trevor Frank, but Trevor Frank, he's just fast in anything you put him in pretty much. One great wheelman here at Coast to Coast. As we said, he's leading all 3 divisions here on Wednesday night. When it comes to the midgets that you'll see in just a moment, the Regal Wrap midgets. And he's leading there with 689 over top of Jack Hipp, who has 618. Again, the drop weights have not been figured in yet for those two drivers. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Dino there in second, got company coming from Randy Trees. Trees is second here in points in the limited late models. And it looks like Trees is getting a little bit better down there on that bottom grass than what Dino is. Still taking it wide there through 1 and 2. Well, this is the unofficial results now. Trevor Frank getting that win here in the heat race for your limited late models. We'll get your results right here. Trevor Frank getting that win. Dean Reynolds second, Randy Shreves third, Chad Lackey fourth, Joseph Grandy there fifth, not taking the grid. So we'll be back after a short break. Don't go anywhere. We got more racing here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. When we come back, the main event of the limited late models here with the Hometown Hero.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Here at Speedway, just to get ready for the main event of the limited late models here on this Wednesday night Hometown Hero. Here from Lakeland, Florida, bringing you USA International, which if you heard Dean there when we were talking to Dino in the interview of the 360 Sprint, this track never really had dirt on it, but that was a addition iRacing did, and it definitely added some great racing here to the sim circuit. Here to start the show here tonight, Trevor Frank out there on that pole position. To his outside, Dean Reynolds from Super Dirt Car Series, driving for Full Throttle Motorsports, the number 79, starting there in second. In third tonight for Hot Wheels Racing, the 56 of Randy Shreves, starting third to his outside. Rounding out the field here tonight, Chad Lackey driving to number 66 for Billings Motorsports. Rolled up here in fourth. Joseph Grandy out here just as race control, I believe. He again did not take the grip. There you see, there we got 25 laps the distance, one more lap around before we get them all underway. 4 drivers. Welcome there if you're just tuning in. This is the Coast to Coast Racing Network with the Coast to Coast Racing League here this Wednesday night. Your hometown heroes. You're watching live either at Coast to Coast Racing Network or over here at Bigger Farm TV. Your home for your Wednesday night, your Wednesday hometown hero. I come down that back straightaway. You got that 121, Trevor Frank there on that inside line. I come there now off of the corner. Brett pulls down and getting ready to go. Here we are. Green flag in the air. And it's down away here at Lakeland, Florida for another time as they got now the limited late models out here on track. Down there through corner 1 and 2. Good corner there for Trevor Frank down there on the bottom. Going to bring it up there in front of Reynolds. Reynolds now going to try to get there in the corner number 3 and 4. And slide there now off turn for Reynolds right there. Looking to the high side to see if we can get any run up there through turn 1 and 2. Frank had bounced it off the bottom just enough for Reynolds to get underneath him there out of 2. Down here through 3 and 4. Reynolds is there. They got to go side by side here. Reynolds going to slide through. Frank now going to drop down underneath. Drag race to the line. Reynolds leads that lap as they come here in the corner 1 and 2. Frank now once again going to slide it up just enough for Reynolds to get back underneath him. And down the back straightaway. Reed sits there watching in third as these two battle it out. Reynolds stuck just a little bit. Frank gets back underneath him. This time he's going to lead the lap here at the line. Here in the corner 1 and 2. Reynolds gets back underneath. Now here comes Reed. Reed's trying to stay out of him. And that's going to let Lackey get up there in the third spot. Reynolds now up there on the top. Works himself around there, down there along the bottom. Everybody single file here for the most part. With a few sliders switching here and there. If you'd like to get involved with the Coast to Coast series, look up C2CRL.com. And that link is in the description for the Coast to Coast Racing League. To get involved here on this Wednesday night circuit, or other nights of the week if you prefer. They got racing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I believe also Sunday. Off turn number 2. Frank up there in the lead is your points leader. Randy Shreve second in points, back here in a fourth right now. Everybody just super tight to throw a blanket over them all as they're in a straight line, pretty much. Almost just to go around this racetrack as one big long line. Covered in a sheet as they work down the back straightaway. There through 3 and 4. Reynolds right there. Shreve's right there. Lackey ends up the racetrack just a little bit. Shreve's going to try to take that as an advantage and get underneath. Couldn't quite do it. Fell back off there once again. But this time Lackey's got to run there, possibly get underneath Reynolds. Not enough as they come off corner number 2, or corner number 4 rather. Down the front straightaway here in the 1 and 2. 17 laps to go here in Lakeland, Florida. For your limited late models. Down there now off of 2. Down the back straightaway. 3 looks like he might have got into that outside wall just a touch. Not sure though. He works there now into the bottom of 3 and 4. Probably could, if you can figure a way to get that car to turn tighter, Down there on that bottom, down there at that grass, that's probably going to be the line you're going to want to run. With the lower horsepower, you want the shortest track for these cars. And that's the way they run. You want to run them hard off of the corner. And I notice they're all diving in much higher than what I would be here at USA. Go ahead and get in the driver cam here with Dean Reynolds and watch him go in here. And you want to try to cut it off the corner. I think you want to come off of corner number 4. Coming in the corner number 1 and 2, you want to dive it in there. Just like that, as Dino gets down there against the bottom line to come off. So he's running a decent line. If he can just get up there to battle with Trevor Frank, and he's down there on the bottom where that bottom line is usually the best. And he's pulling them back in. And they work there off the corner. Dean Reynolds off of 2 down the back straightaway. Has Lackey now getting there to his buffer. Shreves right there as well. Shreves gets the corner underneath of Lackey off corner number 4. Frank hanging on to the lead right now as the other 3 battle it out for position behind him. One of these drivers not coming to the interview booth here at the end of this one. Who's it not going to be? Shreves, Lackey, Reynolds, and Frank out front. Down there off of turn 2. Reynolds trying to get that speed up out of that machine. They're now off turn number 3 into 4. Frank down there in the 1 and 2. Shreves there on the bottom there, and he'll get a little nudge from Chadlack as he comes off the corner. Sliding up just in front of him. You can see a little bit of crinkle there in the front of that 66 machine. A little bit of roughness there through 3. Had to watch them cars bounce just a shade. And here we go in the 1 and 2. 9 laps to go for your main event of your limited late model. Down there in the corner 3 and 4. Underneath goes Lackey, underneath the Shreves. Can he make it stick? Yeah, he does for the moment. 8 laps to go with Frank out there in front. Kind of set sail as the rest of them battle it out back here. Randy Shreves, Chad Lackey, battling for that 3rd position here tonight. Coming off of 4, coming to 7 to go for Trevor Frank, driving at 121, looking for that victory lane here tonight. Down there now off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, about a 1.5 seconds between him and Reynolds. And they're almost 3/4 of a second between Dean Reynolds and Randy Shreves. Chad Lackey right on the tail of Randy Shreves. With 6 laps to go. Hopefully everybody that joined the racing action, even though we only have a small car count, the racing action is still top-notch here at Coast to Coast. They come there off turn number 4. Randy Shreves, Chad Lackey still battle for that 3rd position. 5 laps to go for Trevor Frank and Dean Reynolds, 1-2. Randy, as we said, not taking a grid in any of the limited lates here tonight. Kind of lucky I didn't decide that I was going to mount the camera in the my late, limited late and go out there and join these guys because I really do enjoy this racetrack. Work there on turn number 4. Lackey, Randy Shreves. Down there on the bottom, Trevor Frank still leads the way with Dean Reynolds there in 2nd. Hey, down there on the bottom, working there off the floor. 2 laps to go here for Trevor Frank. In that 121, and he works through corner 1 and 2. Dean Reynolds there in second. Randy Shreve third. Chad Lackney fourth. Chad Lackney would love to get a third place here, I'm sure. He rolls through corner 3 and 4. Coming to the late flag. Late flag unfurled. And Trevor Frank's going to take it here, going into corner number 1. Out there in the front, Dean Reynolds there in second. Randy Shreve in a third. Chad Lackney fourth. Joseph Grandy in a fifth. Here coming to the line. Coming off turn number 4. It's going to be Trevor Frank getting the win here tonight. In that 121, great run there from Trevor Frank to hold on to the points lead, and he'll bring it home to victory lane. Dean Reynolds there in a second. Then we got Randy Shreve here in a third tonight. Now we're going to get with the drivers here in just a moment. We take a look at your grid, finishing results rather. Sorry. Your finishing results. Trevor Frank getting that win. Dean Reynolds second. Randy Shreve there in third. Chad Lackey getting that win, or getting that fourth place position. So Trevor Frank getting the win. Dean Reynolds second. Randy Shreve third. Chad Lackey fourth. And rounding out the field here in a fifth is Joseph Grandy. So we're going to go and get with your top 3, even though there was only 4. Trying to see here how this is going to play out. I can get a hold of these drivers, okay? There we go. Good evening there, Randy. How's it going?
Pretty good for the most part. Better than the last race, I should say.
Better than the last race.
Yeah, better than the 360s. That was horrible. That, I think, ruined my championship run.
Well, I mean, that is a tough break, and I'm glad your arms are okay. I mean, because I don't know what type of wheel you have, but I know I've heard stories of some guys not releasing their wheel enough and breaking the arms.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong wheel. I definitely let go, but yeah, it was a pretty nasty ride. Took 2 nasty crashes in that race, but this race was a lot more fun. There wasn't very many people, but the guys in here, they're all good, clean drivers, and it was definitely a fun race, and always fun racing with these guys.
Yeah, definitely. Third wasn't handed to you by no means. You definitely had to earn that third spot tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Me, Dean, and Trevor, and Chad, we were all up there battling. Early on in the race, Dean had to check up, so I had to check up. That kind of allowed Chad to get by me, and made my job a little harder. But happy to pull off the podium, especially against Chad and these guys. They're really good drivers.
For sure. I mean, great job. I'm not sure why this is doing what it's doing. Man, but I mean, you did a great job there getting that third spot here tonight. You got sponsors, shout out people you want to thank for getting third.
For sure. Definitely want to thank Coast to Coast for putting on this league. All the drivers in this race, they did an awesome job. We, put on a pretty good show for everybody with just the four of us. And I want to thank my son Dylan Shees for painting my car, my buddy Mike McCoy for watching, my buddy Jeff Span and his family, all my friends and everybody that supports me, and you, Adam, for the broadcast, and all you do for this league.
Alrighty, well, great job there, Randy, and we'll see how things go next week.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm pretty sure that I'm just gonna be running for fun, but yeah, we'll see how it pans out.
Oh, you never know. I mean, we've seen crazier things with points, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, we'll just have to see, man. But yeah, we'll for sure see you next week, and hopefully it'll be a little better than this week.
Alrighty, you coming out for the Regal Midgets?
Yeah, I'll be out playing the midget.
Alrighty, well, good luck in those.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, that's Randy Shreves, your third place finisher. Now we're going to go and get Whit Dean Reynolds. Good evening there, Dean. Another second place finish for you tonight.
Yeah, so I think track position had a lot to do with that. With the low car count here in USA didn't really move up that much until the very end of the feature, and with the invert here with the top four, I think that played into me and Trevor's not plans, but our finish. And then you still got to go out and race, and we got lucky to hang on. Trevor was definitely a little bit better than me, and but hey, you've still got to race him, and we'll still take second place.
Well, I know the three you had to watch your rear there quite a bit, because I know Randy Shreves and Chad Lackey weren't letting up on you.
Believe it or not, I wasn't watching the mirror at all. I mean, it's with the pro late models, you got to keep them so straight, or else you scrub off speed. And I was really watching Trevor's line more than anything, because I was seeing what he was doing and I was actually looking at the relative, looking at his times versus my times, and seeing what he was doing better than me, and that was more focus on that, because you look at the mirror, it slows you down, and I knew that if I stayed on the bottom side of the track, that they're not going to get me unless they move a little bit, or if I make a mistake, which I almost did on one lap. I pushed big time one time and going into 1 and 2, and I thought they were going to get me then, but no, I was just concentrating trying to keep that car straight and see if I can actually finally get a limited late model win, because I think that's my 12th or 13th second place finish now, and I don't have any wins yet.
Well, are you using any brake in these corners here at USA?
Oh God, no! I never listed for 25 laps. My right foot was planted right to the floor. No, well, I braked one time in the heat because my car was going to push in the heat, and I actually apologized to Randy behind me, because I said, Randy, I had to tap the brakes to get the car to turn. But that feature, that was 25 laps of my right foot to the floor, never lifted.
So you never really do anything like a trail brake then through the corner?
I do when the track is very, very slick. I'll trail brake a little bit. Like USA, I actually will do that when it gets totally burned off with a modified. I'll trail brake going in, and then Williams Grove I'll trail brake every now and then too. But those are about the only track. I'm not the best with trail brakes. I usually just let off the gas and let it coast in, and then go from there. I've just never been smooth on a trail brake. Now, you get somebody like Morano or Clay Christopherson, they're so good on the trail braking, and they're trying to teach me how to trail brake, but I don't have the patience. So I just
don't have the coordination completely yet. But USA is one of those tracks where I definitely picked up on it for getting into the corner.
Patience and lack of coordination is not a good thing to trail brake.
I'm getting better at it. But yeah, USA, I definitely use brake in the limited. Most definitely, I catch myself doing it for getting into the corners to get it set down onto the grass pretty much.
Yeah, I tried doing different lanes to see if I can, catch back up to Trevor. I mean, me and him had some really good slider battles there at the beginning, which you're taking your life in your own hands doing that with the with these low horsepower engines. But it was fun there for beginning, and then he pulled out. And hey, congrats to him. He's, like I said, he's been a powerhouse here in this deal.
Alrighty, well, congrats. You got sponsor shout-outs, people you want to thank there for getting second place here in the limited lates.
Oh, the same guys with FTM. Thank you, Flieger, for doing the broadcast, which is awesome. Coast to Coast for giving us a place to race, and congrats to Trevor for the win and Randy third. And believe it or not, I'm sitting here in the midget, so you're going to get to see me again.
Alrighty, well, good luck in those. Those things can be a handful.
Man. Yes, they can. Thanks, brother.
Alrighty, good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
All right, Dean Reynolds, your second place finisher. Now we'll get with Trevor Frank. Good evening there, Trevor. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Well, you go from third last race in the 360s to taking the win here in the limited late models.
Yeah, that was something.
I asked Dean this, and he said that he's pretty much flat-footed. Did you trail break at all around USA tonight?
I was not trail breaking for sure. I was mostly just kind of breathing it on entry. With those things, obviously the momentum's huge. So you don't want to break it too much, but it is nice to just be able to breathe it to give the rear tires a chance to kind of catch up and get it into the corner and let the nose dive. So I was trying to be as flat as I could, but I kind of started to run away from those guys when I figured out that wasn't really the play.
Well, I know for me running here, and I told Dean this too, whenever I was running limited, I find what works for me is I keep my foot buried, but I have my other foot resting on the brake for getting into the corners. I'll give it a slow jab getting in to set that car down onto the grass.
Yeah, when I raced the sport mod stuff in real life, trail braking was a huge thing for us. You'd kind of cook pads and rotors pretty often doing that, so I'm pretty good at that, and I do it a lot in the sprint cars, but I don't find myself doing it in the limiteds because I'm afraid that I'm going to jab it too hard and then I'm going to lose all my momentum. So I try to just kind of play with the throttle because that thing doesn't have a lot of power, so a little breathe of it kind of makes it get into the corner and dive the right front as opposed to killing your momentum by accidentally hitting the brakes too hard.
Right, other than that, it is definitely a finesse with these cars for sure.
Yeah, especially the low power cars. Obviously, what I was racing in real life was a low power car. So if you broke your momentum in those two, it just kind of sucked, and you get freight trained. So yeah, it's a good little life to game experience there. And you and I were talking about points, and I didn't realize how much stuff was factored into it. So I was actually just looking because good old Patrick put the points in the Discord, and we're actually tied going into next week in the 360s. So that should be fun. I told him I'd pay him $50 to not show up, but I don't think he's going to take it.
Yeah, I think he'll show up anyway. So it's going to be an interesting 360 race next week. And I think for the limited late, I think you just got to show up.
Yeah, he hasn't quite posted those points yet, but yeah, I'm obviously I have a pretty decent lead in that, and I think if I do my drop week, my worst finish was, I think it was 8th or something like that, so I don't have a huge drop there. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good in midgets. I don't know what the points look like quite for that right now, but I know it's kind of close up front, and with a drop week and some of the incident stuff, I'm a little worried about it. But we're hoping to secure at least a couple of them, and the limiteds will be good. Midgets will be good. Hopefully we can get the 410 fixed on Monday night, and hopefully we can find a way to beat Spangler at Charlotte next week too.
Well, he's a tough one to beat, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's a good race car driver, and he's always raced me super clean when we race the stuff together, so appreciate him, and that's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be a little more intense on Wednesday night than I was hoping it would be, but I'm ready to go, and Charlotte's a good track for me, as Monday night kind of showed, so hopefully we can carry that momentum into there.
Well, it's going to be interesting for sure, and I mean, what better way to have it end for the viewers? I mean, if the viewers know there's a big points thing on the line, it's going to be a good night for racing.
I agree. I'm excited for it, and may the best man win, and hopefully Patrick takes my $50 so we don't have to have this conversation.
Alrighty, well, you got sponsor shout-outs people you want to thank for the limited late models here tonight.
Yes, sir. Shoot Racing Incorporated, Boxer Media, AmRamp, and Kirsch Bridge Builders. As always, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and hopefully we're talking one more time tonight at a track where I feel like I have home court advantage.
Well, we'll see. So good luck, and congrats on getting the victory here at Lakeland in the limited late.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Trevor Frank getting the win here in the getting the win here in the limited late model. So we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the Regal Midgets after that. So don't go anywhere. Your last division of the night coming right up.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
One, two, three. I love it, Molly.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
My love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home. I'm making my way.
All right, here we are once again, live from another speedway now. Here we are at Cedar Lake for your Regal Wraps Midgets. I am your announcer here tonight. Can't wait to see exactly what we got in store for us. I'll get set here very shortly for your Regal Wraps Midgets Racing. Trevor Frank here leading the points in the Regal Wraps Midgets. Jack Hitt in second with 618. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how this plays out. Bob the Good sitting in third in points. In that number 7 machine. There we are with qualifying underway for your Regal Wrap Midget. Body Goods out on track. There you see Trevor Frank, your points leader. Down there along the bottom. Gotta watch them infield tires in these midgets. We saw that last week. I believe it was Templeton that ended up getting a hold of the bottom there and getting a hold of one of the infield tires, popping that front end up, going for a ride. Jack hit there in the 217 with a 15:031 for his qualifying time. Trevor Frank laying down a great lap, a 14.693. Templeton with a 14.709. Bob DeGood, he laid down 15.118. Randy Shreves out there trying to lay down a good time, comes across the line, laying down there a 15.330. Dean Reynolds, he came out to play in the midgets tonight with a 15.724. Your heat here tonight for your Regal Wrap Midgets. Starting out there on the pole in the heat. That's going to be Jack Hitt for Can-Am Racing Team. The number 513, driven by Jeff Park, is going to start there in second. In third, inside row number 2 from Hammerdown Racing, the number 31 of Brandon Templeton. To his upside there, starting fourth, is going to be the 121, Trevor Frank. Can-Am Racing Team number 7, Mr. Bob DeGood, starts 5th here tonight. Randy Shreves, the number 56 from Hot Wheels Racing, starts in 6th. And rounding out the field as Dean Reynolds there in 7th. Jack Hitt, Jeff Barker, your front row. Coming around here, pace cars should take off as we work here out of turn number 2. Down here through 3 and 4, back out here onto the front stretch. I'm going to do my best to stay with it here. Green flag down on the wire, the dirt side here at Cedar Lake, down here through 1 and 2. Barker there in the middle, almost 4 wide as we got trees there. And a little bit of bump and around goes and hang on. Trevor Frank trying to work his way through the pack, sitting there in the third, right behind Templeton, getting bounced around a little bit. Right there at the tail tank of Templeton. Templeton down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Tight racing there, they touch just a little bit. As Frank gets underneath, gonna slide it around. Templeton, not sure. He might have a connection problem there. Jack Hitt stays out there in the lead as they keep working here down out of the corner. Barker and DeGood having issues in the pits. I watch them there off the corner. Jack Hitt trying to run the middle to high line here at Cedar Lake. Down here on the bottom, Trevor Frank getting it worked up down there. Trying to take the shortest way around the speedway while others are focusing on momentum. And it's a tough battle here. You watch Trevor Frank down there on the bottom. Coming off turn number 4 for the win. I'm sorry, for the final lap. Jack Hitt Out there in front, Trevor Frank, way down there, popping up on the infield tire. Down there now on corner 3 and 4. Hit up there on the top side, but it's going to be Trevor Frank getting that win. Jack launched it into the pit. Trevor Frank, 14.868 for his time, or his best lap time, that is. So, trying to get here with them. We'll be right back after this short word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. We got the more racing coming up, the main event of the Regal Wrap Midgets coming right up.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Back here at Cedar Lake, get ready for the main event. Warm-up comes to a close. And you're starting grid. It's going to be Trevor Frank up there getting that pole position. Get there to his side. And at number 217, Brandon Templeton in for Hammer Down Racing. At number 31, starting third. Randy Shreve, Hot Wheels Racing, number 56, starting fourth. And row number 3, inside is 79, Dean Reynolds from Full Throttle Motorsports, driving for Super Dirt Car Series. Mr. Bob the Good starting in driving the number 7 here tonight, starts 6th. And in 7th tonight starts number 513 from Can-Am Racing, Jeff Barker. Having said, Trevor Frank's your points leader in these midgets. We gotta get set to rock and roll here down the front straightaway one more time around. number 4. Brittany flag in the air. They're down and away. Frank getting a great run down there on the bottom side. It's going to be who can get the lowest there. We're going to play a little bit of limbo. They come there off corner number 4 rather. Down there through 1 and 2 now. Templeton down there on that inside. Trevor Frank out front. Hit up there on the top side, trying to get that top end rolled in enough for him to keep the momentum rolling forward. As they slide off the corner, he's got company there to his inside. That Brandon Templeton. As they come there off the speedway, Trevor Frank out there in front. Templeton there second. Jack Hitt there in third. Dean Reynolds not doing too bad back here in the number 79 in 4th grade now, seeing if we can get around. Jack Hitt, problems back here at the back. See if he can gather it back up here to get it moved forward once again. Up there on that top side. Dean Reynolds down there on the bottom. Getting underneath of Templeton. And Templeton's now back up there to the high side. Dean, man, had to try to check it up enough not to get into Templeton. So Reynolds lost a little momentum there in that number 79, but slings it back through there, through the corner here, coming off turn number 2, down the back straightaway here through 3 and 4. Trevor Frank worked off the 4, back down here across the front. 19 laps to go as he works back through 1 and 2. Dean Reynolds there in 3rd. Jack Hitt up there in 4th. Jeff Park down here on the bottom side in the 513 Marine Sponsor Machine. Sitting there in 5th. Trevor Frank working there off the corner. Watching that 121. Worked really well down there against some infield tires. Especially through 3 and 4. There coming off turn 1 and 2. Templeton, though, he's getting something figured out there. Looks like as he's high there through 1 and 2. Getting that momentum built up and then maybe bringing it back. Yeah, he's going top. Oh! Bottom there. 4 coming off, or is that a slider through 3 and 4? But he's getting something figured out there. Keep an eye on Templeton. He's not going to give it to Frank too easily as he works there on the outside once again through turn to 3 and 4. Going to work there on the top side. Frank down there on the bottom. Templeton closing in there. Getting a great run up top. Frank down there on the bottom trying to make it work. Templeton driving it up there. Getting that top side to fight more here. That bottom's getting more worn in. Jack Hitt, he's trying to make that top side work as well. As Reynolds is down there on the bottom side. And you see Jack Hitt up there on the top, coming off turn number 4. Dino now, he'll jump up there to the high side through 1 and 2. Up there in front of Hitt. And now Hitt's going to drive down there and over the tires and up into the kick fence. Goes Jack Hitt as he is up and over. First caution of the night comes out for Jack Hitt. But Jack Hitt looks like he's rolling. Man, what a wild ride there for Jack Hitt in the number 217 Hooters. He was your champion last season, I believe. I'm thinking it correct. Maybe the last 2 seasons. Goes into the pits, tries to see if he got anything to fix on it. And then comes back out there, got the good to go signal. We'll take another look at it here. I mean, that was one heck of a crash there for Jack Hitt. Well, this is Jeff Barker. We're looking for Jack Hitt. Up there on the top, coming off. And you can just see him. He gets there and he goes down, dives it in, and just ends up on the top there. You can see that left front wheel broke a little bit. So, yeah, good job getting back to the pit, get that wheel back together, and back out here onto the racetrack. Everybody get lined up once again here. After our first caution, green flag is Here. The bottom side, going to try to get that momentum built up once again. He's now going to the inside as Frank works that top side now. Off the corner 4. Everybody else trying to find that line that's working. And there on the bottom, Dean Reynolds got Randy Shreves up above. Randy Shreves going to hold it together, get up there. He's going to run that top side now as Frank runs there on the top. Trying to stay out front of Templeton and all the others. Dean Reynolds back in the third, but Shreves working hard on the top side to get around Dino to take that third spot away. As it looks like a top side's coming in, and that's where you want to be. That inside looks like it's fading away. As Shreves comes around here through turn 3 and 4 into the outside wall a little bit. Reynolds down here on the bottom, just trying to keep the car under control, I would assume. 7 laps to go there for Frank as he comes here in the 3 and 4. Hamilton's gaining on him here as they work off the corner. Hamilton works up there on the top side through 1 and 2. Frank up there as well. These two really great drivers there. 2 different angles coming through the corner. 3 and 4. A long slider from the 121 of Trevor Frank. As Brandon Templeton runs a short slider. Now look at that long slider line there. Trevor Frank is keeping them out front just enough. As Templeton can't seem to go and get it to bite into the corner enough. 4 laps to go there for Frank. Frank out front now by almost a second as they work their, well, it's 3/4 of a second now. Working there off turn 2, down the back straightaway. Randy Shreves in 3rd. Dean Reynolds back there in 4th. Jeff Barker 5th. Jack Hitt trying to work back up through the field after he is horrendous. Trying to up into the outside catch fence. Landed on all 4s, but keeps it going as they work there now off the corner. Trevor Frank, Brandon Templeton, Randy Shreves there in 3rd. Up there now off the corner, down through the front, or through the back straightaway. Final lap here off turn number 4. Here he comes. Trevor Frank will capture that checkered flag here tonight at Cedar Lake for your Regal Wrap Midgets. So your Regal Wrap victory winner, none other than Trevor Frank. And I think that's pretty much going to cinch it here for him in the... That might cinch it, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the incidents and everything play out. But it's going to be a tough one to beat him here in the midgets next week for championship week. Your results are as follows. Getting that win, as we said, Trevor Frank, Brandon Templeton there in 2nd, Randy Shreves 3rd, Dean Reynolds 4th, Jack Hitt 5th, Jeff Barker 6th, Bob the Good there in 7th. There we go, getting with your winners. We'll start top to bottom here with Trevor Frank. Good evening there, Trevor. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. What a race it was out there in that 121 to bring it to victory lane. Pretty much I would have to say, showing up next week, you have the point.
Yeah, it's kind of, I was a little stressed going into this one, to be honest with you, because I kind of figured if I were able to win it, I didn't think it would be as stressful as of a week next week. So, yeah, definitely Definitely feels good. It is technically defending home turf for me because this is one of the only Wisconsin tracks that we get to go to. So I'm happy to defend home turf. I've been to that racetrack a ton in my life, and I've had some good memories there. So it's nice to get a win in a midget there, and now it's time to go do another 360 Nationals tonight. So definitely a lot of laps. I'm getting too old for this.
Well, you did a great job, and you stayed ahead of Templeton. Were you worried about him at all? I know he was trying different lines. Looked like you were trying different lines as well. That track clicked off tonight.
Yeah, I was definitely happy to run the bottom there in the heat race. The car was rolling really good. Whatever the fixed setup was, that thing was money on the bottom. But once it started to go away, we had that restart, and I thought about going to the bottom because I knew he wouldn't have momentum for a few laps. And right before the caution came out, I slid him because I was planning to go to the top. But then I just decided I was gonna just take the top on the restart and pray. And yeah, that seemed to work out pretty good. So thanks to him for showing me where it was fast.
Well, great job. And you got sponsors, shout-outs, people you want to thank there for getting that victory?
Yes, sir. Shoot Racing Incorporated, AmRamp, Kirsch Bridge Builders, and Box 3 Media, as always. And thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. And hopefully we're sitting here with a happy conversation 1 week from today.
Well, we'll see how next week goes. As you got quite the fight next week coming up.
Yeah, I got a fight on my hands in Renegades, 410s, the Hometown Hero 360s, limiteds, midgets. I can't falter in any of them. So definitely going to try to make some time to run some laps this week so that I don't look like an idiot.
Well, I don't think you ever do. So great job there on the win, and good luck next week.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Trevor. You're a winner here. Now we'll go with second place finisher, Brandon Templeton. Good evening there, Brandon. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
Well, you got second place here. I know you were trying different lines there to try to chase down Trevor Frank, and you heard it from him a little bit there on his interview that he learned from you where the fast line was up there at the top side, so he took that on the restart.
Yeah, once I got committed up to the high side, I kind of started running him down a little bit. And it just took, it wasn't fast enough to jump up and surprise him. It was just inching towards him. So he was nailing his marks on the bottom for sure. But I think the traction was just going away enough down there that the top was the place to be, like it usually is in Cedar Lake, especially like 1 and 2. You just about got to be hammered down up on the wall or you're not going to be very fast once it slicks off. So we'll take second place finish. It was a lot of fun. Good heat race, good feature. Anytime you can race side by side and not tear anything up too bad, that's a lot of fun with a lot of good competitors. That's hats off to him for the win.
Great job. You got sponsor shout-outs, people you want to thank there tonight for that second place finish?
I got to thank Jay Burdick with Dirt Track Bank. Everything he does, I know he's supporting the World of Outlaws races here in Iowa and Iowa Speed Weeks and what's going on. And so they're going to be at my home track Friday night racing, and I'm sure he'll be there. So love to give him thanks for everything he does for us in iRacing and racing throughout the country. So thanks to him first and foremost. Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, lowgroove.com. Check it out for all your dirt rankings. Extreme Images. Fleeger Farms, Regal Wraps, everybody helping out, everybody that sponsors the Wednesday night to make it happen and get it broadcasted. And thanks to Jack for admin and everybody with Coast to Coast.
Alrighty, great job there. So that is Brandon Templeton, second place. Now we'll get with third place, Randy Shree. Good evening there, Randy. How's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty wore out after that race.
Well, you did a great job getting third place. I know you had to kind of battle Dean a little bit there for it, but you were able to come out on top, get that third place, and coming into championship week, what do you think your chances are at maybe getting one of them?
I doubt it in this league. It's either going to be Jack or Trevor, or possibly Brandon even. They're all really good midget drivers, and I don't think I'm that great in them.
Well, I'm talking, I'm talking Wednesday night as a whole. Do you think you got any shot at trying to chase down Trevor?
I'm 99.9% sure he's got everything sewed up. He's done a great job this season, and he's a hell of a driver for sure. And yeah, it sucks I couldn't give him a little challenge in at least the 360s anyway. But Yeah, he's done an awesome job all season, and I look forward to next season and next race also. But I'm pretty sure he's got it locked up.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how the drop weeks and everything play out. So keep an eye on them points this week as they get updated heading into next week. Some of them might surprise people.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I've had a couple bad weeks. I think I missed a couple weeks. So, yeah, I don't know.
Alrighty, well, congrats there, getting that third place. You got sponsor shout-outs, people you want to thank for third spot here tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Coast to Coast for all they do. You, Adam, for the broadcast and your sponsorship, everything you do for this league. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be happening. And I want to thank my son Dylan Streets for painting my cars, my buddy Mike McCoy for watching, my buddy Jeff Span, all my other friends, and everybody that supports me.
Alrighty, great job there, Randy, and we'll see you next week for Championship Week.
Yes, sir. We'll see you then.
All right, at your third place finisher here in the Regal Raps Midgets. Thank you all for coming out and watching, whether it was here at Flicker Farm TV or at our main station there for Coast to Coast Racing Action, Coast to Coast Racing Network. We go and say good night. Be sure to tune in to Coast Racing Network tomorrow night for your Thursday Night Thunder. Good night. Thanks for watching.